China is gaining global attention as it expands its naval power, signaling its ambitions in the maritime domain and global power. The country's growing naval presence is characterized by a modern fleet that includes aircraft carriers, advanced submarines, and a formidable missile arsenal. Their latest submarine developments are a force to be reckoned with and are considered a threat even to the United States, despite their indisputable impact on naval space. However, their silence is disconcerting. What makes these submarines particularly alarming? Is there a pending war ahead? Join us as we delve into how these Chinese submarines can destroy US in 30 seconds. The connection between the People's Republic of China and the United States of America has been predominantly intricate and occasionally tense since its inception and China's relocation of the Republic of China's government to Taiwan in 1949. Despite maintaining close economic ties and a significant degree of interdependence, the two nations are concurrently engaged in a great power rivalry. China is fast transforming itself from a large force into a dominating and modern force. Although it has always lagged behind the United States in operational skills and military hardware, it has recent times proven that that might not be the case. By 2030, China could possess 5 aircraft carriers and 60 cruisers and destroyers, effectively doubling the current tonnage, and its navy might surpass America. China is consistently producing a considerable number of additional combat aircraft, including a next-generation tactical bomber, H-20, along with ships and ground-based missile systems. Notably, significant emphasis is being placed on the nuclear weapons project, potentially resulting in 700 warheads by 2027 and an additional 300 by 2030. The Chinese fleets of nuclear ballistic missile submarines and submarine-launched ballistic missiles are causing alarm within the Pentagon due to their capabilities, dominating current geopolitical discussions. Type O-94 submarine. The Type O-94 is a range of nuclear ballistic missile submarines developed by China for the submarine force of the People's Liberation Army Navy, succeeding the Type O-92 and preceding the forthcoming Type O-96, which is currently in the developmental phase. The Type O-94A is a variant distinguished by its modified and enhanced sail, integrating elements observed on a modified Type O-93 submarine. Notably, this submarine is louder than others made around the same time, with a noise level of 120 decibels reported in 2004, similar to the Los Angeles-class submarine. In 2009, the Office of Naval Intelligence in the United States reported that the Type O-94 is noisier than Russian SSBNs built in the late 90s. Australian researchers Brendan Thomas Noon and Rory Medcalf highlighted the submarine's loudness and the limited range of the Julong 2 missile in 2015, affecting its effectiveness in attacking the contiguous United States, but not in the case of India. The United States Department of Defense describes the Type O-94 as China's first credible sea-based nuclear deterrent. Initially equipped with 12 Julong 2 submarine-launched ballistic missiles, each carrying a single warhead with a range of 7,200 kilometers, these submarines were capable of reaching certain areas of Alaska when launched from positions near China. In late 2022, a reconfiguration was introduced to the Julong 3 submarine-launched ballistic missiles, extending their reach to the continental United States from the South China Sea, with reported ranges surpassing 10,000 kilometers. This extended range raises concerns about its capability to carry out the kill command, resulting in catastrophic consequences. The Julong 3 represents a third-generation Chinese intercontinental range submarine-launched ballistic missile deployed on the Type O-94 submarine and is anticipated to be utilized on the forthcoming Type O-96. Speculation suggests that at least 4, if not all, of these submarines are based in Hainan Island in the South China Sea, patrolling the waters to protect against foreign anti-submarine forces as China plans to use the South China Sea as a stronghold. The Julong 3's range could be further increased if China's missile submarines change their patrol zones, posing a danger to areas such as the Bay of Bohai, most of North and South Dakota, Montana, Oregon, Washington, Nevada, Utah, and California. However, achieving this would require Chinese submarines to go beyond Japan and Taiwan into the Western Pacific, where Chinese air and naval forces cannot defend against opposing anti-submarine warfare forces. Despite advancements, Chinese missile submarines are not yet quiet enough to operate independently, unlike their American counterparts. China has not officially announced the commissioning of the Julong-3, and Chinese military experts argue that the development of submarine-launched ballistic missiles is aimed at protecting China from nuclear blackmail. They insist that United States military speculation is based on false information to secure increased funding for the development of its capabilities. Amid the Russia-Ukraine war, the United States military aims to strengthen its presence in the Asia-Pacific area and secure more funding by exaggerating China's ordinary national defense growth. The United States military plans to increase the number of anti-submarine troops stationed in the West Pacific and build more sophisticated nuclear-powered submarines, such as the Columbia class, intended to replace the Ohio class. By exaggerating the China threat theory, the United States military anticipates acquiring more funds and regional support. In addition to the fact that China's nuclear forces based on submarines are primarily designed for counterattacks, China maintains its nuclear capabilities at the exact minimum level necessary for national security. While they won't aggressively threaten or attack others, they are committed to preventing other nations from using nuclear threats against them. By 2030, China may have increased the number of cruisers and destroyers from 36 to 60, and its carrier fleet from 3 to 5. This could include an increase from 6 to 10 of the Type O-94 nuclear-powered ballistic missile submarines. Comparatively, the Chinese Navy's total tonnage would rise from its current level of 1.3 million tons to almost 2 million tons. In contrast, the Pacific Fleet of the United States Navy, including 6 aircraft carriers and 50 cruisers and destroyers, along with 8 ballistic missile submarines with nuclear propulsion, totals around 4.5 million tons. The Type O-96. The United States Navy was caught off guard by the rapid progress in constructing China's latest nuclear-powered submarine, the Type O-96, which is expected to enter service in the future. Known for having a less impressive submarine capability, the Type O-96 represents a significant enhancement to the Chinese nuclear triad, marking their first genuinely modern submarine. This development has raised serious concerns among U.S. military planners. Unlike some other technologies that China might have obtained through theft or reverse engineering, the intricate technology behind these stealthy submarines has been closely guarded by major powers. China, lacking the experience and expertise of Western shipbuilders, has historically struggled to develop a proficient submarine fleet. The Type O-96 project is seen as a departure from this trend and has captured the attention of military observers worldwide. The Type O-93 nuclear-powered attack submarine. In the 1980s, China initiated the development of the Type O-93, a nuclear-powered attack submarine meant to replace its first-generation Type O-91. This second-generation nuclear submarine is now the most modern within China's submarine fleet, featuring significant upgrades. The inaugural Type O-93 submarine commenced construction in 1994 and entered service in 2006. Following this, the second Type O-93 began its construction in the year 2000 and was commissioned in 2007. Subsequently, the initial Type O-93A was laid down in 2009 and officially joined the fleet in 2015. Referred to as the Type O-93A Shang-2 class, it works in conjunction with the Jin-class Type O-94A, which acts as China's nuclear deterrent, armed with 12 nuclear ballistic missiles. Notably, these submarines are constructed using outdated Soviet nuclear submarine technology, which the Russians exchanged in the early 1990s due to financial difficulties. Technical assistance and crucial design components were supplied by the Rubin Design Bureau for Marine Engineering, Russia's central naval agency. China then utilized this foundation to build the Shang class, incorporating modern improvements over the original Russian designs. Over recent years, China has been building on these lessons, integrating new technologies to develop a more capable and formidable submarine fleet. The Type 093C Yuan class. China has recently dispatched its latest non-nuclear submarine, the Type 039C Yuan class, into Taiwan's territorial waters, triggering concerns. This submarine employs air-independent propulsion, utilizing diesel engines to charge arrays of electronic batteries, enabling it to travel submerged on battery power. Diesel submarines are both highly lethal and exceedingly vulnerable. These submarines operate on electric power drawn from extensive battery banks, providing endurance for days. Because there is no engine or nuclear reactor with moving parts while submerged, diesel subs become notoriously challenging to detect in electric power mode. However, when the battery charge depletes, diesel subs must surface and extend snorkels to run diesel engines and recharge batteries, making them susceptible. This transition from a predator to a helpless prey occurs when extended snorkels become evident to surface radar. While new snorkels feature radar-absorbing materials, high-resolution radars can still spot them, and specialized sensors known as diesel sniffers can lead warships directly to charging diesel submarines. Additionally, near the surface, airborne anti-submarine assets can easily spot these submarines. Air-independent propulsion technology aims to significantly enhance the endurance of vulnerable diesel submarines by allowing them to maximize their extreme stealth. Air-independent propulsion comes in 4 varieties. The first is closed-cycle diesel engines, which store a supply of liquid oxygen aboard the submarine. This oxygen is pumped to the engines for combustion, mixed with an inert gas like argon for safety, and the exhaust gas is discharged into seawater. Closed-cycle steam turbines, a second air-independent propulsion alternative operated only by the French, combust ethanol and oxygen under high pressure to generate steam for a turbine with the advantage of high power output. However, it is an inefficient process with high oxygen consumption. Due to cost, efficiency, and complexity, global navies favor the next 2 air-independent propulsion technologies. Stirling cycle engines, a closed-cycle engine concept, uses a working fluid permanently contained within the system. This engine, coupled with a generator, provides electricity with liquid oxygen as an oxidizer and regular diesel fuel. They are cheaper, less complex, and run on regular diesel, but are noisier than fuel cell diesel submarines. Fuel cell air-independent propulsion technology, the most popular and widely used today, converts chemical energy into electricity using hydrogen and oxygen. Germany leads in fuel cell technology, supplying most of the world's demand for air-independent propulsion diesel submarines. Despite being technologically complex and expensive, fuel cells offer incredible stealth, high fuel efficiency of up to 80%, and environmental friendliness. While details remain scarce, it is believed that China's Yuan class is using a Stirling engine, revealing intriguing implications for China's use of this new attack submarine. China, unlike the United States with its all-nuclear submarine fleet, seems to be addressing regional concerns, focusing on Japanese, Australian, Taiwanese, and American forces in its vicinity, particularly in a potential Taiwan conflict. Operating a few hundred miles from friendly ports, air-independent propulsion is an excellent choice for the Chinese Navy, being more cost-effective than a United States nuclear submarine while capitalizing on extreme stealth benefits. Nuclear submarines offer unlimited endurance, but are notoriously noisy due to the constant operation of the nuclear reactor. China, aware of its undersea realm disadvantage, sees the advantage of deploying a new diesel air-independent propulsion submarine, even if it sacrifices global power projection capabilities. The threat level of the Yuan class is challenging to determine due to the extreme secrecy surrounding attack submarines. Observations point to developments such as a redesigned sail, implying a greater need for surface or near-surface stealth. extended aft casing to contain a towed sonar array, and the use of a new anechoic coating on the hull suggest enhanced capabilities, making the Yuan class a more formidable anti-submarine warfare opponent. Despite the absence of rubber tiles on the top of the hull and potential manufacturing challenges, the Yuan class represents a significant leap forward in submarine technology. By 2025, the United States Department of Defense predicts that China's substantial shipbuilding industry will have commissioned 42 operational Yuans, potentially impacting geopolitical dynamics, especially amid predictions of heightened tensions between the US and China. Currently, the consensus is that America's Virginia class stands as the premier attack submarine globally. However, acknowledging that losses are inevitable, the future dynamics in the Pacific might hinge on the ability to swiftly replenish naval assets. In this context, China holds a significant advantage in terms of both cost and production capacity, a situation that should raise concerns within the Pentagon. USS West Virginia, SSBN 736. A noteworthy mention is the USS West Virginia SSBN 736, an Ohio-class ballistic missile submarine in service since 1990, and the 11th of 18 Ohio-class submarines. Transitioning to a new Block V variant of Virginia-class attack submarines, currently under construction, showcases significant advancements. This variant enhances firepower, incorporates cutting-edge sonar technology, and integrates the latest developments in automation and artificial intelligence. This development is facilitated through a $22 billion contract between the Navy and General Dynamics Electric Boat, with 8 of the new Block V deals being constructed. Classified as an Ohio-class ballistic missile submarine, this vessel has a displacement of 16,746 long tons when surfaced and 18,750 long tons when submerged. With a length of 170 meters, a beam of 13 meters, and a draft of 12 meters, it is powered by an S-8G nuclear reactor with highly enriched uranium at 93.5%. The propulsion system includes 2 geared turbines, a 242 kilowatts auxiliary motor, and a shaft generating 45,000 kilowatts, enabling it to achieve speeds exceeding 46 kilometers per hour. The submarine's test depth exceeds 240 meters, and its crew comprises 15 officers and 140 enlisted personnel. Armed with Mark 48 torpedoes, it carries a formidable arsenal of 20 Trident 2D5 ballistic missiles. The new submarines come with an 80-foot armament section, allowing for an increased number of onboard Tomahawk assault missiles from 12 to 40. The United States Navy Ohio-class submarines are armed with the Trident 2D5 missile, a 3-stage ballistic missile with a maximum range of 4,000 nautical miles, capable of carrying multiple, independently targeted re-entry bodies. The Trident D5 missile stands at 44.6 feet high, with upgrades and life extension programs adapting its specifications over time. Warheads on the Trident D5 missile can be either Mark IV W-76 or Mark V W-88. In the realm of United States naval power, there is always something new brewing. Columbia-class submarine. The United States' new Columbia-class, currently under construction, might be the quietest underwater vessel ever made. Among its features is smooth and effective electric propulsion, distinguishing it from the mechanical drive propulsion train used in other Navy submarines. It also boasts an unconventionally designed X-shaped stern. The Columbia class, previously referred to as the Ohio Replacement Submarine and SSBN-X Future Follow-On Submarine, represents the forthcoming generation of nuclear-powered ballistic missile submarines designed to succeed the existing Ohio class in the United States Navy. The construction of the inaugural submarine commenced on October 1, 2020, with plans for it to be commissioned into service by 2031. A notable development occurred on June 3, 2022, when the Navy declared that the first vessel in this class would be named USS District of Columbia. This decision was made due to the existence of an attack submarine already named USS Columbia. Despite this nomenclature adjustment, the Navy maintained the overarching classification of the fleet as the Columbia class. The Columbia class, succeeding the Ohio class, is a type of ballistic missile submarine with a projected cost of $109.8 billion for a total of 12 boats as of financial year 2021. The estimated unit cost is $9.15 billion per vessel, characterized by a displacement of 2810 long tons when submerged. The Columbia-class submarine has a length of 171 meters and a beam of 13 meters. Its propulsion is facilitated by the S-1B system through a turboelectric drive and pump jet, providing an unlimited range. Accommodating a complement of 155, the submarine is equipped with an enlarged version of the Virginia-class El Abbey sonar for sensors and processing systems. In terms of armament, it features 16 Trident D5 missiles along with torpedo tubes. A reactor plant in new Ohio-class submarines produces heat, converting it into steam that propels the ship forward while turning turbines to provide energy. This propulsion relies on reduction gears, converting high-speed energy into the shaft revolutions per minute necessary to turn a boat propeller. The submarines, with a length of 560 feet, can launch 16 Trident II-D5 missiles from 44-foot-long tubes. As submarine designs evolved from using a propeller to employing a propulsor to enhance quieting, surface movement capacity was lost. The X-shaped stern in the Columbia class addresses this issue. Electric drive propulsion, dependent on a nuclear reactor for heat and steam, channels power to an electric motor instead of using reduction gears to spin propellers. An old Massachusetts Institute of Technology study from the time when the electric drive was under consideration for submarine propulsion suggests that an electric motor more effectively uses installed reactor power than mechanical drives, freeing up more onboard power for various applications. Additional technologies in the Columbia class include a computer-driven joystick navigation system, fly-by-wire technology, and fiber optic periscope technology. These advancements, designed exclusively for the Block III Virginia-class combat submarine, allow the submarine to automatically select its depth and speed through automated navigation. While the United States Navy may have lagged behind its Chinese counterpart in terms of sheer numbers, it maintains dominance, especially in submarine warfare, where technological superiority poses a formidable challenge for Beijing. These new, more silent submarines might engage in the same Cold War game depicted in the movie. The hunt for Red October War is essentially a strategic chess game, and the Pacific Ocean serves as the board. The duration of this game can span minutes, hours, or even years. Thanks for watching. While you're still here, click on the link appearing on your screen to watch another of our interesting videos. See you there.